Yo, what's happening out there? As you can see, guys, we did get a little bit of a red candle yesterday. Sorry, the camera was just a little bit weird over there. Hope you're all doing well. So on today, big show. For me, this pullback is really good. Now, reason why I'm saying that is because we need an area of where do we put our stop losses now on all of the altcoins. And Bitcoin, yet again, came down to another area where we have held support many times before. And we know this is a crucial zone. Now, after this, we do have 10% lower to the next support. And it's basically showing us that if Bitcoin loses this next range over here, we can actually start a bigger pullback. Now, for me, the way it basically came down to was we knew that basically the temporary top for Bitcoin could be in, right? And what we're looking at is that dominance is not there yet. That dominance is still showing before we have the full correction or before we have a slowdown in this actual current pump. We have the dominance. And if I show you the dominance is still at the point of having one more leg down. It is not at a crazy support, little bit of support over here. But for me, I'm still looking at another leg down in the dominance. And I said it yesterday. I said it that I think there's one more chance to make money before we start a bigger correction and before we start a massive pullback. And ultimately, this big wave that we've made in the entire market, I am starting to see we're going to get to a point where the real pullback's going to start. And then all of a sudden, what happened? We basically had the small pullback from Bitcoin, right? And it did start to pull a bit of altcoins back. But all of a sudden, we have that trigger. And what's that trigger? Now we have some altcoins just ripping. Chainlink just got released. I saw Polkadot just got released too. And I spoke about on many of the altcoins having this pop. And there's a few that haven't just made it just yet. And as soon as we get some sort of move in Bitcoin, all of a sudden it just triggers a whole batch of altcoins. So guys, again, I'm focusing this show on setting stop losses on the coins that have already moved and the ones that we are entering. And I'm making sure that we're shifting money from the narratives that have already pumped to the ones that can still give us this last push up. I still think there's good money to be made on this big push. And then it is time for us to prep. And I think there's still a few more days left. No more wasting time, James. Let's get into the show. Let's hit it.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, hope you're having a fantastic day. What is going on with my hair today? Why don't no one tell me that I have this like random... What's happening? Smash the subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. Smash the like button if you are part of the family. Remember, guys, if you open any exchanges below in the description, it allows you access to our Discord VIP, where you're able to get all my show charts. You're able to get all the live private trading sessions. You will get the link sent there. You get all of my trades and all the different tokens updated every single day. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper. Show me lots of love. I did my first Twitter Spaces yesterday, and we got 2,000 people. So that was pretty good. Make sure I am updating and putting tons of charts there now to update where I'm thinking the market's going. And remember, we have the Rolex promotion. If you sign up on exchange and you take trades there, you stand a chance of winning a Rolex. The more trades, the more opportunity you get. Okay, so let's jump in now. Important stage. Now, remember, we're still focusing on the main thing of the emotion cheat sheet. Now, we had a lot of debates yesterday on the cheat sheet. The exact pattern, yes. But the emotions, I agree with. You know, the patterns, will it follow the exact same pattern? I don't agree with. You know, I do believe that the market does evolve and it will do different things to what it's done in the past. But emotionally, I do agree with it. I do agree with it that on this pump, we've seen that people still have money. People are still aping in, you know, these sort of things. And that's why I'm still just at the point of this rally will have an end at some point, and there will be another shakeout. There will be more money to be lost from the inexperience, from the retail, and therefore I am still prepping for those TPs. I've been saying it for the last few days. We're going to be taking profits, and for me, I'm focusing on the major levels. So what happened with Bitcoin is we did break this trend where we had this temporary bounce at 22,600. We went up to around 23,400. Not making the major high, and therefore bringing us down for a lower low. But ultimately, we did just test the trend line. But horizontally, we are still in the support. Now, I've given you guys these blocks because it's important, again, to understand where are the acceleration prices. Bitcoin bounced on its last line of support. And for me, if it holds now and we break this trend, and the trend that I'm showing you here will give us that indication, is this trend on Bitcoin on the 1 hour. It's basically creating this little downwards wedge, if you want to call it. If we break this and we decide to start making our way up from here, this is the final low that you protect yourself with. Because if we lose this point at any point with Bitcoin, we are going to have a serious correction. Now, this correction can be big. It can firstly take us down to the levels of the early 21,000s. And it can even take us down to the next level of early 20,000s, and we even have the early 19,000s. So don't take this next correction lightly. All the money you've made, all the craziness and the fun you've been having can all be thrown down the drain if you do not stay focused right now. Okay. And that's why it's so important. Before I jump into the altcoins, I'm giving you the final simple tip. If your coin is extremely far from the, why is this doing this now? Why is my trading view doing this? Let's reset it here. If your coin is extremely far from the 200-day moving average in profits, no. Oh, there we go. Cool. If your coin is very far on the daily from the 200-day moving average, sell. Take your profits on any of the tokens that are extremely far from the 200-day moving average. Go look through all your portfolio, through all your tokens now. If you see them, that looks like the graph where we are extremely far from the 200-day moving average. TP, 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 TP. It's now time for you to get into what's next and the narratives that are next, and basically now get rid of the quantity and simplify it down, because you know that at any point now we are going to have a slight turning point. And this is me being temporary bearish. We will see where that low goes after, and then we can decide if we're getting back in. But right now, you want to protect everything that you've just made. So many of the altcoins that are very far, and it's mainly these big ones over here. If you look at the last week or so, you know, GRT, we got IMX. Let's actually go to the month. The month will give us a good indication. Phantom, very far. Aptos, very far. We have OP, Optimism, very far. We have many AVAX, same. You know, all these tokens are very far from the 200-day moving average. I would start laddering out of those now. I don't think that these are going to have too much more upside. And it's very simple now. Get out of those and let's still stay focused. What is still looking good for me is right now is I'm still thinking that Bitcoin does have this push up. I think we have one more push up in Bitcoin. And I'll say it again, where I'm expecting this push up to basically be this choppiness from Bitcoin to get towards the 24,000. And after that, I'm still seeing a possible lower high and a big rejection from there that can send us back down into the lower areas. And that's still sort of the game plan. The only thing that changes is if we do decide to lose this low. If we lose this low, things are going to go down pretty fast. So the best way to do it now is many of these altcoins have all made the similar low, right? And it is time to start putting your stop losses in the areas of these tokens. Think about it. They've come a very far way. And either way, these stop losses should all be in profit on many of the coins. But it's time to start prepping that stop loss below this major lows that we made in the last 24 hours. Because we know if Bitcoin loses this level, the big acceleration, and you're just going to throw many profits down the drain. So it is time to start with the stop losses. And it's the same thing. Make sure you have a stop loss. If you don't know how to do a stop loss, I think I have 5 videos on the Crypto Banter channel that shows you how to put a stop loss. And as this is going up, we are just going to trail these stops up as it goes, as it goes, as it goes, until we have that big major event. So right now, Bitcoin still looks fine. It's still bounced in the major area. And when we break this trend is when we should start a little up push. Now, when that happens, we can still see that dominance, again, is getting very near breaking another trend line to the downside. So again, we're sitting on support right now. And if we lose the support trend line, we're going to continue that momentum. So dominance is still in the middle of no man's land right now. And it's still showing that this is still the next big leg. So for me, it's still showing that there's still an altcoin pump to come. The one we've been speaking about is still to come. And once we get here and you have Bitcoin on support, then you worry a lot, because we can be looking at a huge dominance bounce, and this will just suck, 40-50% of all the gains that were made with many of these altcoins. Now let's speak about the major altcoins. And the first one I want to speak about is 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬, because 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬 was doing fantastic yesterday, and then it decided to reverse. So we hit it beautifully. Now, for me, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 is still the one. I want you guys to be very careful with leverage right now. Be extremely careful with leverage, because the market is going to get wild. It's getting to such a crucial point. And you want to know why the market's struggling here a little bit? Is because of the very high time frame on Bitcoin, which was if I jump here to the weekly, which was the death cross. They speak about this death cross when it comes to the weekly on Bitcoin. This is the wrong moving average. Let's get the moving average, the correct one in play. Make sure you got your moving averages, guys, so that you understand where are your major levels. So here, and let's put in 200. There we go. Amazing. So what we're getting over here is this big death cross. And that's what's creating a lot of resistance at the moment in these areas. And why Bitcoin's sort of staggering and holding here. This is a very high time frame area. And I still think, market cheat sheet shows this is the area where we start depression. But it does show this first, this little push, this, and then we start into that. And this is the leg we've been waiting for. But ultimately, even the moving averages are agreeing that Bitcoin to get through 25 is going to be extremely hard. It's really going to be hard to get through that level. And right now, we got to still expect that it's going to be here a while. And Bitcoin's going to basically trend for that while. That's why markets are getting extremely jumpy. So with leverage, be very cautious at the moment. You can make so much money on spot at the moment. You can see the coins are actually moving. So jumping back to the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓 position. I still think 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 and I think layer ones is the last altcoins to run. Maybe the other ones will slightly go a little bit more, but for me, these are the ones that are still undervalued, in my opinion. And why 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬 is holding up quite a bit at the moment is it does have this critical area of this support. It does have the 618, which is sitting in these areas too, and it does have the 200-day moving average. And any token that's below there at the moment does take time to get up there. But I still think dollar costing into 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕. I still think 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗕 is going to be the one that explodes. We saw it yesterday. As soon as the market turned slightly bullish, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 was exploding and looking good. We had some news come out, and there's probably a little bit of selling into the news, which can make sense at times. But for me, as soon as 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 pops through here, we do have levels of 3.4 and we do have close to the $4. So 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗕 is still one that I agree with, and I'm still holding my positions. I would just be very careful with leverage on it. I would not do leverage. It's quite wild at the moment, but I still think there's big gains. Again, it's gotten perfectly again. You can see how they're bouncing, guys. Like, we're not getting daily lower lows just yet. THORChain, again, for me, it's the only ones I'm focused on. I'm taking profits on all those coins that are very far from the 200-day moving average. THORChain, definitely a big one. The one that showed quite a bit of life today and one that looks ready to run is THETA. If you look already, Bitcoin decided, and this is my nice little trend line that I'm forming here. But as soon as Bitcoin printed a little bit of greenness, look at THETA. Boom. All of a sudden waking up here. So THETA is still one that I'm dollar costing into right now. And it's still one that I'm expecting to still have another 30 to 40% pump. So I'm still seeing the moves, guys. I'm not seeing any different market to what we did. I'm just seeing the selection of tokens, which is very important. The next one, which woke up, which I still think just touched 200-day moving average, still in trend right now, is Polkadot. Same thing. If you look at Bitcoin this morning, the market's been quite bearish, right? The last 24 hours. Look at Polkadot. Just erased everything that just happened in the last 24 hours. Looking really good. Focus on what's looking incredibly well right now. And Polkadot's looking really good. So it's THORChain, Polkadot, THETA so far. The next one we have here is VET. What pullback? What pullback? And remember where this is here. Look at it on the weekly. incredibly well. So for me, VET is still another one. You know, you can sort of take all these tokens and see what narratives that they basically are. But VET and THETA are very similar sort of game. And they're looking really strong. We then have Chainlink. Chainlink all of a sudden coming to life. And what it did now in the last few hours is it hit this little resistance over here. And after that resistance, you know, we then have $9 to $10. So it's starting to wake up and starting to show a lot of good strength. And what I like about THETA is it actually has this beautiful horizontals. It actually has this nice range. And if you have a look at the range, it's been making the same lows and it's been making the same highs. Okay, so you can see these areas. So you sort of got a good idea that firstly, it has broken 200-day and it's holding beautifully. But once it breaks through here, good idea that it goes here, right? It's been here many times before. And then what's interesting is if we do get there and we decide to break through there, you know, you can look at the next levels of $12. So for me, Chainlink is one that has not moved. It has not had the pump just yet. And it's starting to break the major indicators and bouncing hard when the market just goes slightly bullish. You know, guys, it's about time getting out of everything that was last week. You know, get past it now. It's old fashioned. It's time to shift into what there, and it is time to shrink your accounts. It is time to bring your coins from here to here. If you got 20 coins, bring them down to 6. I'm serious. We got to prep. There's going to be time where we can expand again, but you have to prep now because at any point now, it's time for quality. It's time for you to bank those profits and not make the same errors as previously. This is why. How's those who bought render at $2? You know, you're already 25% down. Do you see this? Buy the coins that have pumped. Buy the ones that have done, like, don't take profits. You know, you're going to experience this. Look at it. You know, basically, we look at percentage-wise from where we were. You know, you're 26% down. Many different profits that you're just giving away if you're not taking. Render, again, is overheated for me. It hits a major resistance. It's still got a long way to go. There's lots of time to get it a lot cheaper than what it is right now. And I'd be focusing on taking profits on that one. We look at IMX. Pretty good. But for me, look at that. You know, same thing with the top. If we just look at the simple daily candle from yesterday, from the top to the bottom over here, you know, we're looking at 17% down from where it is. Anything that has done these crazy things, look at optimism. So I want you to get out of your brain that, yes, it's amazing, but if you don't take profits on them, you're going to give them away extremely fast. And the coins that haven't done this, you know, ALGO still, for me, extremely bullish. Look how yesterday it literally popped in straight into the buy zone and then popping out. And hopefully it can come back. I'm hoping to get more. I am really hoping to get more of them. And I've moved the TP slightly lower in case the market has a altcoin pump, but it's not as big as what we expect. So I moved the TPs to 35 cents and 40 cents, which for me, you know, from anywhere of the areas, even from where we are now, it's 28% to a 43% for the TPs for now. So ALGO is still one that's looking really good. Same with, I've given enough tokens, guys. Let's focus on these ones. Cosmos, buy zone for me. In support right now. Cross. So for me, I'm getting some more Cosmos. ZIL, same thing. ZIL can go slightly lower, another 5% lower. ZIL for me, these are the entries for ZIL. And the rest of them, even Lux, I'll be slowly just protecting myself with Lux. It was looking really good. And it may have a strong bounce, but on the next push up from Lux, I'd be just de-risking. I do think it goes higher again and still possibly hits the TPs, but make sure you start taking profits on those. Filecoin is still really good. Enjin, let's speak about Enjin, because Enjin for me is really bullish. Enjin, look at this. It just gets bought up completely really fast. I'm hoping it does come back down, you know, to the 45-cent mark. And then I really think it's a great buy because, you know, the next area is 62%. So I'm still expecting a pump, guys. I'm just saying take TPs on the ones that have done crazy things and move your money to the ones that are still early. And then it is time for the next few days for us to start getting out of the market. Let's actually have a look at Ethereum forming this right now. It had a small bullish flag, which it broke back into. And right now is forming this uprising wedge at the moment. And what is nice about it is it does have these little levels, you know, the level that it's fighting now, and then a small little level above that, And then there's one more bigger level that takes us towards the 2K level. So we might still get an ETH pump. I saw the ETH dominance looking pretty good, breaking back above the MAs again. It did bounce beautifully on support. So Ethereum, I still think is a really good play. And maybe that might be the leverage trades for you guys. Trade Bitcoin and ETH. I know you may think they're boring right now, but they're the most safest. They're the ones that are not going to get you destroyed too quickly. Solana, see, now Solana's starting to lose a little bit of steam. And what's crazy about Solana is the next pullback at any point at the time, I'm still expecting $14 to $16. We may still go up from now until this trend line's broken. That's my buy zone. So you can sort of get an idea of where the bigger pullback happens with a lot of these coins. And if you look percentage wise, from where we are now, a 30% pullback, from Solana and many of these different tokens. So guys, what I'm doing is I'm allowing the market to print candles. We've been on an incredible run. Those are the ones I'm still running for. Once I understand the next move, I'll expand again and we'll just keep making money. So shorter day today, smash the like button. I'm just bringing updates today. Until I see what happens next, I will then bring more calls and more things like that. But we've done incredibly well. Be smart, guys. I've learned a lot in this game now. Be smart with the ones that have done incredibly well. And then school, guys, Sniper School. If you have a look in the description below, you'll find Sniper School. If you've used our Sniper School links on the exchanges, you need to open an exchange. You need to put $250 into there and you need to register for Sniper School. It will ask you for a user ID from your exchange. You get to trade with that money. Come join Sniper School. Join Sniper School. We have this year to get really good at this game. Next year's bull run, guys. So have a fantastic day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.